Okay, this video is going to demonstrate polymorphism through the main staff program. Remember when in the polymorphism video, I told you guys these were just examples right here? Like in real life, you would never create a student G equals a new grad student. That would, you just wouldn't want to do that. But the reason why you would do it in real life would be due to a if you had an array of students. So let's do this. We're going to create a new program. We'll call it main staff. Okay, so we'll have a staff class, and we'll just say this personnel equals new staff, and we'll say personnel dot payday. So we're gonna basically run a how much each staff member is going to get paid, but we're going to have many different types of staff members, and so they're going to get paid differently. Okay, so where are we at? Main staff, where are you at? Here we are. So I'm going to right click and say new, and I'm going to create a class called staff. And finish. So in here we're going to have a private staff member array called stafflist. We'll have a public staff constructor. We'll say staff list is equal to a new staff member, and there's going to be 6 different types. Okay, so let's create the staff member class real quick so we can see how that works. So we'll say new Java folder called staff member. Wait a second here. Right click, new Java class called staff member. All right, staff member is going to be abstract because it's going to have a public abstract double method called pay. Now we do that because each staff member, there's going to be 6 different types, I think. Let me think about it real quick. I'm going to have an executive, an employee, an hourly employee, and a volunteer. So I'm going to have 4 different staff members, each getting paid differently. So pay will be, you will override it in each individual class. Like the executive class, you'll override it and implement your pay. You'll implement your pay method in its body in there in each one. And so the way that the polymorphism will work, it will run through your staff member array and find each one. If you're an executive, you get paid through the pay method in the executive class. Okay, so let's just create the rest of this real quick. We will have private string name, private string address, and private string phone. Okay, so public staff member. So all staff members will have a name. And actually, I'm going to create this as my name. And we'll write a toString method in here too, all right? So public
Hey Mike, Paul is asking if you could help out for a second.
Oh, I'm in the middle of my video.
Fine, I'll go help.
Sorry about that. Result. Equals phone. Whoops, this needs to be my name. Okay, so our result will have name and then the person's name, the address and their address, and then phone and then the phone number, and it'll store that in result. Okay, so let's start off and go back into staff, and let's create a couple volunteer staff members. So we'll say staff list equals, whoops, let's say staff list at position 0 equals a new volunteer, and that volunteer's name will be JD, and their address will be 987 Suds Boulevard, and their phone number will be 555-837-8374. All right, so we have a staff member staff list, which is an array that's a volunteer. So when we run through this, the polymorphism is going to know where to, what methods to call in volunteer and what methods to call in the next one when we start doing that. All right, so then let's do this staff list and we'll say Carla. And Carla lives at 321 Duds Lane. And her phone number is 555 7282. Okay. So volunteer doesn't exist yet, so let's create a volunteer class. Okay, so volunteer is going to extend the staff member class. Okay, staff member. So staff member knows the name, address, and phone number. So we want to be able to inherit all those in. All right. So we'll say public volunteer and we'll say string name, string address, and string phone, and we will string. Okay, and we should just be able to super in name, address, and phone. Oh yeah, because so that error right there, we haven't written the pay method for this one yet, so we'll do that here. Say public double pay, and we'll return because they're volunteers; they don't get paid yet. Okay, so that's volunteer. All right, so we got to start testing these. So this is the only error we should have, payday, because we haven't written that in the staff class yet. So let's do that real quick. So public void payday, and we'll say double amount because we're going to figure out how much they're going to get paid. And we want to do a loop that goes through each of these staff lists. So for int count equals 0, count is going to be less than the staff list.length. We'll add those up. So we can now do a so that will display, you know, the first volunteer when we come through it. All right, and this is the array, so it should display the to string right here. So the name, address, and phone number. We'll say the amount is equal to the staff list at count dot pay. Okay, so that will put their amount in, and we'll say if amount is equal to 0.0, say thanks. Else will say they were paid whatever amount they got paid. Okay. And then we'll do a now this is just going to do, you know, for each record, it's going to just print this stuff and then a new line. So if I run this right now, should main staff, what's wrong with this? What's wrong with this one? Cannot load main class, main staff. Staff. Member. What did I do wrong? I think these might have to be my. Let's see real quick. Java return one failed. Volunteer, class volunteer extends staff member. Put this at the bottom real quick. It shouldn't do anything, but package main staff. Could not load main class. Alright, what's the problem on this? Personnel. Let's just say this is 2 right now. Just volunteer. String. Alright, I think I figured out the issue. I just commented everything out, and I think there's a problem with the. Wait a second. Staff. Yeah, there's something wrong with how this one was set up. I don't really know why, but nothing in it works. So what I did is I create a main staff 2. Okay, so I'm going to go in here and paste this in. Alright, so now I need to right click here, right click new, call it staff, right click new, call it StaffMember, right click new, and call it. Alright, so now let me open these up real quick and just copy my code that I've created. Because like I said, this wasn't a code issue, this was a I think it was an issue with where everything it couldn't find the file for some reason. So that was staff. Let's go to staff member, public abstract class. Alright, so I can close that. Okay, that's good. And so now it's a payday. Where's that payday? Oh. Staff, where's payday? It's probably fine. Let me run it. There we go. So puts the name, address, and phone number, and thanks because they got paid 0.0. Okay. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to create some more staff members. Let's do an employee next, okay? So I'm going to right click and say new Java class. We'll call it employee. Alright, so the employee is going to extends the staff member. Okay, and so we'll have private string social security number. Okay, so yeah, we have to override the pay method. That's fine. And we have private double pay rate. Okay, so employees get paid and they have to pay taxes, so they need a social security number and they got to get paid a certain pay rate. All right, so we'll say public employee and remember we super in my name, my address, and my phone. So there's your inheritance. We got to get it passed in, so we'll pass in string, my name, string, my address, string, phone, string, social security number. So we're going to pass those in. And then so then we'll say my social security number equals social security number. My pay rate equals pay rate. Oh yeah, this is double. Okay. So then we are going to public void, or public double, get pay rate, and we'll return my pay rate, and do a public string to string, and we'll string the result equals super dot to string. So we'll super in the name, address, and phone number right there. But then we'll do result plus equals then we'll return the result. So if I go back to here, the staff, now I can add a couple employees. So let's change this to 4 right now, and I'll say staff list in position 2 equals a new employee, and that employee is going to be named Dr. Kelso. His address will be 456 off line. His phone number is 555-0469, and his social security number is 987-65-4321, and he is getting paid $1,246.07. And we'll do a staff list, position 3 equals a new employee. And this employee will be named Turk. Turk lives at 789 off Rocker Street. phone is that. Social Security is 010-20-3040, and he's getting paid $1,169.23. So should be able to run this now and see those people. We've got errors. Let's see here, staff 22, employee, okay, main staff 2, line 19, let's see this, staff, okay. Wait, did I not? Whoops, no wonder. Alright, sorry about that. We gotta figure out how they got paid now, right? So you pass in the pay, you can get the pay, and we'll just say, we'll say public double pay, and we want to return pay rate, my pay rate. Okay. There we go. So you've got the 2 volunteers. You got Dr. Kelso with their social security number and the pay. And you got Turk with his pay. Okay. Okay, let's do an hourly employee. So we'll change this. Let's just do one of them. We'll say staff list position 4 is a new hourly worker, and the hourly worker gets paid an hourly rate. So we'll say Dr. Cox, and he lives on 678 5th Ave, and his phone number is 555-0690, and he also has a social security number. It should be 958-47-3625. And let's say his hourly rate is, I don't know, $75.99. Okay. So I gotta right click and say new, and I gotta create an hourly employee, so I'm just gonna call him hourly. Finish. So hourly will extends the employee class right here. Okay. Oh. And employee has the name, address, and phone number, but the social security and pay rate. The hourly worker will have the same plus stuff. So I am going to do some copying and pasting here. Okay. So we're going to have a private int. And when you have an hourly employee, you got to know how many hours they worked. So I'll call this my. And again, this is an issue here because we haven't overwritten the pay method. So I'm going to say right here, I'm going to say public hourly. And they're going to get my name, my address, my phone number. They're going to get my social security number and my pay rate. So those will all be supered in here. Social security number and my pay rate. And then finally I've got to do a double hours worked. So I'll say my hours worked equals hours worked. Hours worked. What's wrong here? Incompatible data typed. Oh, sorry. Int. I just need to close my. Alright, so I can do a. I'm just going to do a method called public void add hours if I want to add hours to them. Okay, so I can int more hours. If I want to add more hours, and I could say my hours worked plus equals more hours. Okay. I'm not going to need a different toString method because it's going to display the same stuff, but I need a different way to pay them. So public double pay, and I'm eventually return the what payment? I'll just call it payment. So we'll need double payment is going to be equal to, we need to get the pay rate from the employee class. Let me see here. Let me see here. Employee get pay rate. So we'll get it from here. So we'll say get pay rate, and we'll multiply that by the hours worked, by my hours worked. And once you pay them, you want to make sure that your my hours work goes down to 0. Okay. And I guess let's do a toString here. Let's add in a little bit more here. So we could say, just for the hours work, so public string.
You left the stove on.
Public string toString string result equals super dot toString. The result hours worked Alright, let's look at that. So we'll get the toString from employee, okay, right here, which just adds on the social security, but this gets from the name, address, and the phone number from the staff member. Yep. So hourly worker, that should be good. Let's run this. What did I do wrong here? Staff 26. Hourly in class. Oh, did I not put in? I don't think I put in. Second, what did I not do? Let me see here. Oh, wait a second. I think I screwed this up. I don't think I want that right here. I think I just want to set this to 0 right now. Let me try this real quick. Current hours are 0. Alright, so that does that. So then I can do right here, if I want to do for my hourly, I can add in hours. So I could say what? I could say staff list in position 4 dot add hours, and I could add, let's say, 10 hours. Add hours. Wait a second. I need to cast it as an hourly employee. That's why I'm getting an error there. Here. This is kind of a pain. Hourly. So that casts it as an hourly, and that should go away now. So yeah, he gets paid, what, $75.99 per hour. Works 10 hours. That's what he gets paid. Okay. So that works. Last up will be the executive. So we'll say staff list at position 5 equals a new executive. And let's do this real quick. Okay. Now, the way that executives get paid is they get paid a bonus based on their performance. So, we'll say the name of this person is Elliot. They live at that address. Phone number is 555 dash. Social Security is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. And let's give them a bonus of $25,000.99 if they hit their okay. So we're gonna have to extend the employee. All right, there's that pay area. So let's do this. We'll do public double pay, and we'll say double payment is equal to super.pay plus the bonus. And after we pay him, the bonus will be equal to 0, and we'll return the payment. Okay. And we got a private double bonus. Then we gotta do a bunch of stuff with the constructor. So public will have the string my name, string my address, string my phone, string my social security number, and double, let me look at this real quick. Pay rate. super. And to determine it, if they get a bonus or not, we gotta award the bonus. Sorry, I messed up. Pay rate needs to be passed in, so I'm gonna pay them, sorry, $2,500. So they're gonna get paid like an employee, but then they can get a bonus, all right? And we would do that by doing executive, so cast it as an executive, a staff list at position 5 dot award bonus, and we'll award the bonus of 25,000. Okay, so they did a good job and they hit their mark. Executive award bonus. Let me see here. Award bonus. Nice statement. Let's see, executive. Whoops. There we go. Okay, I got an error. Something with there we go. So they got 2,599 cents, and then add. So that looks okay. All right, so this should demo pretty clearly polymorphism. Each time we run through here, we call a different type: volunteer, employee, hourly, and executive. Right here, when we call the pay method, it doesn't know which one to call until runtime, and then at runtime it goes up, call this pay from employee, up, call this pay from hourly. Let's pay up for executive, call this pay. So kind of study this program, plug it in, see how it works. But again, this should demo pretty well polymorphism for you guys. So pause it.